What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Decent clap. Decent. Today I have the Pact Shooters Timer, and we're going to compare it to the SG Go Timer. Very similar timers and similar price points. Well, actually, they're not very similar. There's a lot of big difference in features, even though they're similar price point. And I will talk a little bit about the other timer from Shooters Global as well. I don't remember the number on that one. That one is a lot more expensive, so it's not the best comparison. These two are very similar in price. So I'm going to go and tell you the features, a few key features on both of these. I've already done dedicated reviews on both these if you want more information, but I'll give you a couple quick facts, the most important facts in my opinion. Then I'll compare them, tell you the pros and the cons, and then you can subscribe and carry on your merry little day. Before we begin, drop a like for my man Coda. This is my Bull Mastiff, my baby. If you don't like Bull Mastiffs, I also have a very cute English Bulldog. If you don't like dogs, you shouldn't be watching my videos. Alright, let's start with the Go Timer. So the thing I like the most about the Shooters Global Timers is you can use the app on your phone if you choose to. You don't have to, but you can use the app. And it does a lot of unique things. They're the first company to kind of embrace technology with the shot timer. So it's going to track all of your shooting, all of the different drills, and all your different stats so you can see how you're doing over time if you're getting better. There's a bunch of programmed drills already in there. There's a bunch of competitions in there. You can compete and compare your results with other people who are, across the country or whatever. You can control the timer remotely with the app. So if you have the timer on you and your buddy has the phone and the app, you guys don't need to play the game of swapping timers. One can control the timer from the app, the other one can control it from the actual timer. And I don't know, I just think that's a little bit easier. The other thing I really love is you can go into the app and record yourself video of you shooting. It's going to overlay the stats on what you're doing on top of the video. Not only do I like this for Instagram and being a little different on social media, but the real beauty of it, you can see exactly what you're doing when you're doing. So if you're going from one position to another or shooting or reloading or whatever you're doing, if you're trying to get better and you want to really analyze your shooting and see where you can cut time off and make improvements, there's no better way of seeing the video of what you're doing with the time up there on the screen. That's really awesome. I just scratched the surface on the app. The app has so much in it. Again, I've done videos on all three of these timers if you want to get more specifics, but there's a ton of stuff in the app. They also recently released the ability to work with the Apple Watch. I haven't tried this because I don't own an Apple Watch, but if you do, you can start the timer with the watch, and you don't even need to take out your phone. I think a lot of people are going to like that as well. The SG timer, the Go Timer, has built-in batteries. So you can't take the battery out and swap it. USB-C, which is great, and it lasts like 80 hours. So the battery lasts a long time. The other SG timer lasts even longer. The controls on the timer itself, is very, very basic and easy to use. There's certain things you need the app for. So let me explain. The big button on here is going to start the timer. I'm not going to push the button because anybody listening with headphones, it's way too loud. The Pact Timer is very loud. The SG timer is significantly louder, and then the more expensive SG timer is even louder than that. But a couple of settings I want to show you. If you push the smaller button on here, it's going to go through your different presets. So I have them named Common, Airsoft, and 22LR because I don't care what they're named, and that's how they came through. But what you would use this for, if you want one preset to have a delay and one preset to have a par time, and however you want to set it up for shooting, you can't do that in the SG timer. That's one thing that people may see as a con. You have to set that up in the app. So all I do is before I go to the range, actually I have one preset on delay, I have one preset on a par time, and I have one preset on instant, and that's all I ever use. So they're already preset ready to go, and if I want to change it, you can just change it in the app. If you hold down that smaller button for a second, it goes from shooting to dry fire, because this will work with dry fire. More on that in just a second. Hold the button down again, it goes to RO mode. So if you don't want the shooting stats to be saved in the app, you go to RO mode, and it won't save your shooting statistics in the app. So like I said, any delay, par time, changing to sensitivity, anything like that at all has to be changed in the app. And then once you do that, it syncs with the timer automatically. The screen does face up, so if you have it on your kit or belt or something like that, it will face up, which is nice, very easy to see. and it's backlit. So if you're doing this in not the brightest light, you'll be able to see the backlight turns off automatically, and the timer itself has a built-in auto off as well. As far as attaching it to the belt, you have a few different options. I really like this Velcro kind of adapter. It's going to work with different size belt. It sticks to the inside of the Velcro on my belt, and this is the one I personally prefer. This one does have a quick detach. You just pull that lever, it comes off very easily. You can also put a pocket clip on here if you want a normal pocket clip. Once you put that pocket clip on there, it's on there very well, and you're going to need the included tool to take that pocket clip off, just so you know. You can also do a lanyard, so if you want to hang it around your neck, common in competitions, you can do so. It's very loud, like I said. It has 30-minute auto off, screen faces up. What was the other thing I want to talk about? 2-year warranty, and then the dry fire program and save session. So you can turn up the sensitivity, go into dry fire mode, and record your dry fire. It's sensitive enough to sense that click of pulling a dry fire trigger. So that's kind of cool. Everybody should be dry firing. The more expensive Go timer, again, I'm not really comparing this one as much more expensive, but if you're wondering what you get, again, you can go watch the full video I already have. But the main difference is it's a little bit louder. It has a longer battery life. Not only is it USB-C, but you can also charge it with magnetic charging. And then all of the controls, the delay, the par time, and all that stuff, you can do it right built into the timer. You don't need to do the app. You can do the app, but you don't need to do the app. All right, before I get into the Pact Timer and give it the time and respect it deserves, let me quickly thank Natchez. Let me get out of the way. Natchez, biggest supporter of my channel. I like to thank them in every single video. They have you covered: hunting, fishing, camping, pew-pews, reloads, optics, all that good stuff. They don't have either one of these timers. Unfortunately, they do have another one, the competition shooting one. I don't love that one. I think these are the best 3 timers on the market, but they do have one. Either way, thank you to Natchez. Alright, now let's get into the Pact Timer. The Pact Timer does not have an app. It's a good quality basic timer, but there's no saving your data on an app if that's something you're interested in. The battery on the bottom here is removable. It's a 9-volt battery, so if you like the idea of swapping the battery when it dies, you can do it with this. The battery doors always a little funky and hard to open. Sometimes I needed a screwdriver, but you can swap the battery if you want to. Now, I can't tell you the battery life because I can't find that information anywhere. I will say the battery lasts forever. I use this timer exclusively for probably a couple years, I don't know, and the battery lasts for a very long time. Controls, again, are very, very simple. You hit that green go button and that will start the timer. Again, I'm not going to do it because when I did the review, people on headphones were like, that was so painful loud in my ear, so I won't do that to them. The button below it is review. So if you want to review your times and your splits and whatever you're doing shooting, you just hit that review button, and then the up and down will scroll through all of those shots. Now, if you press the up and down at the same time, that's going to go into the menu. The menu is super simple. The only thing you can change in the menu is whether you want the timer to start on a delay or you want the timer to start instant, and then you can also change the par time. That's it. And I liked it because it was such a simple, easy to use timer compared to the one I had before was that competition shooting blue timer, and I could never figure that thing out. The Pact Timer was very simple, and that's what I liked about it. As far as attaching it to the belt, it does come with this one clip, and I've always found that clip too loose, whether it's going on the belt or a kit or something somewhere. Every time I bent over, it would always fall, and that was one thing I didn't like about the Pact Timer. I even took the clip off, unscrewed it, and tried to sandwich it tighter. I put some tape on it, and the tape helped a little bit, but that fell off all the time, and that bugged me. But the delay, the par time, the splits, all that stuff is built into it, and you don't need to use an app or anything like that. The screen faces up, so if it's on your belt, just like the Go timer, it faces up, which is so convenient. I like that. It is very loud. It's not quite as loud as the Go timer, but it's plenty loud. Even with Air Pro on or Dead Air Pro or doubled up, that's not going to be a problem. As far as the dry fire, it kind of works with dry fire. Yes, no, maybe. I've seen some people say no, some people say yes. It kind of has a sensitivity adjustment that I'll tell you about in a second. In my opinion, I'm going to say no. It doesn't quite work with dry fire unless it's really close to the gun, so it's not ideal, so maybe. But anyway, under the battery there's this little nylon screw knob thing, whatever, and that's a sensitivity adjustment. I highly recommend you don't adjust the sensitivity. I don't think Pact recommends you adjust the sensitivity. You need to be really careful. This is just nylon. If you gorilla it and over or under tighten, adjust the sensitivity, you're going to break the timer. So remember this if you choose to adjust it. Tiberious told you not to adjust the sensitivity and you did it anyway and you broke your shot timer, it does have an auto off. And I read on the website it's made in the US, and I thought that was dope. I don't know how much is made in the US or if they're just assembling it here or what percentage. I don't know any of that stuff, but it said made in the US, so I thought that was kind of cool. All right, let's chat about the difference. The biggest difference for me is the app. So if you like the idea of the app, obviously go with the Shooters Global. You don't need the app to use it. It works fine as a standalone timer, but the app is my biggest advantage. The SG timer is backlit, so if you're doing any lower light type stuff, that's nice to have. They're both water resistant, not waterproof. Both have a warranty. The battery situation is different, so if you like the removable 9-volt battery, go with the Pact Timer. If you like the built-in rechargeable USB-C, that's the SG Go timer. Now, both controls are very simple. They're different, but they're very, very simple. So as far as ease of use, I put them about the same. But if you really don't want to use the app to adjust the delay and the part time, the Pact Timer. If you want the advantages, like I said, of the app, then go Shooters Global. And then the size is different as well. The SG timer is much shorter. It's not as long, but it's taller. So I don't know if you care about the size, but the sizes are very, very different as well. Overall, the Pact Timer is not a bad timer. I've said that a few times in the video. It's a good basic timer. But about a year or two ago, whatever it was, I did switch to the SG timers, and I pretty much use these exclusively. I just think the built-in rechargeable battery, the app, and all the different things you can use if you want to use with the app, the overlay, the statistics on the screen, all those things that I mentioned, I just prefer the SG timer for that reason. But either way, they're both good timers, so I think you'll be happy either way. All right, there are links down below for both of them if you want to check it out, but there's no shilling today. I'm not going to do shilling at the end of the video. All I'm going to say is thank you for watching. If you think I deserve it, maybe drop a like, drop a subscribe, and that's it. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Stay blessed. Be good. Peace.